Hi, this is Grover with Blue Collar Codes, the Quick and Dirty, episode 16, going over modules and packages, just a brief beginner's overview. If you wish to follow along, you can find a link to the GitHub repository, which contains episode16.py. So, modules are files, simply Python files, and packages are directories that house an init file and modules. So the main thing that makes something importable is the init file, at least for a file structure. If you wish to import a package, meaning a folder name, it needs to contain an init file as such. So it's going to be two underscores init two underscores dot py, and that'll make this folder itself importable. And then what you'd be able to do to access modules, which are just Python file names, you would be able to say import my package, and then when you wanted to use module 1 from my package, you would do my package dot module 1 dot, say, a class or a function name or what have you. And there are multiple ways of importing things, and I'm just going to briefly overview them for you and then switch over to a fresh directory to just kind of show you how imports can be linked. So the main and basic way to import something is using the import keyword and then the module name or package name. And from here, in order to gain access to anything within that package, you're using dot notation. You're just doing, here I have math on show case, and so you just do math dot function name. Here it's square root, and then so have you. So you can do math dot anything to gain access to it within that package. Now, a different way to do that is the second example here is by renaming something. So if you wanted to import math, and since math is a basic general name that you don't want to end up overwriting and you want to avoid the possibility of any name clashes, you would just simply rename it upon import. And here, import math as M. And now you can do the same type of function or class access by just doing m dot function. Now, if you just wanted to import one single class or one single function from an entire package, then what you can do is use the from import syntax. So from package math import square root, or from module math import square root. And then you could do the same naming convention or name change upon import for the from imports. The one thing of note here is the last option here, from math import asterisk. Just be aware that what this is doing is sandwiching every name in that namespace of math within that module or package. It's just going to overwrite all existing names that conflict with any name in that package. So you're basically just allowing yourself to then gain access directly to the functions as if they were all written in that same file. So just note how that could be a source of error or issues, especially if there are top-level variables within any of those modules that you're sandwiching, because you could ultimately change them within the original file because it's using those as if it's from the original file. Just make note of that. So for instance, if you then changed or reassigned square root, it might end up changing the original file. So that's just something that could give you a lot of source of problems where you don't understand exactly why, because one file, when you ran it once, started to change all of these top-level variables or links between the modules or links between functions within a module, and then you'd have to re-download that module. So I'm going to quickly go over and showcase a little bit from a fresh directory how you do these imports. So give me a second to switch windows here. And so in this directory, what I have here is the top level folder is called test directory, and then within it I put init.py file right here, a main Python file, module 1 and module 2. And in each of these modules, I'm just doing a simple chain import as well as a print. So you know when module 1 is imported, it's going to just print out module 1. And then when module 2 is imported, it's going to print out module 2. And then here I have an import of a subpackage using that dot notation. And then here I just wanted to showcase that if you wanted to be able to gain access in an entirely different directory to your test directory package, you will need to add it to Sys.path, which I will showcase for you in the interactive prompt. So I'm going to hit play here, and you'll just see how this works in tandem. It just ends up working because I have 2 init files, and then I'll see what happens when I delete one of these init files, and will it still be able to gain access to it, or will it now no longer consider subpackage a place that you can use dot notation. So here, let me hit run. So you need to actually have a variable in there, so I'll delete that. Save it. Clear it. And now I'll run it again. So as you can see, since I'm running it from module 2, it imported subpackage module 3. So it did this print because I ran this file only, and then it ran the module 3 because I imported it. Now if I go to main, which just imported module 1, it should do 1, 2, 3, as you can see here. Now let me open an interactive prompt here by typing in Python, and let me try to import my package. Let's see if I can import it just straight out. So test directory. So it can't find test directory, and so I can't find any of these files. And that's what I'm talking about when I say from a different location, if you wanted to test this, you have to add it to Sys.path. So import sys.path.append, and then I can take at least, let's say, the subdirectory path. Oh, let me first put parentheses there. Let's see if this works. Except I probably needed to encase it in quotes. So technically what this should have solved for me if I didn't make any kind of syntax error is I just added this absolute path to this sub package. And so now I should be able to import module 3 directly because it's a part of the path. And I should be able to do it like I can either import sub package, or I might even be able to gain access to module 3 straight up. So import module 3. So that just showed you that I made subpackage a part of Sys.path. So that means wherever I go in, say, the command prompt or in a Python terminal, I should be able to import this because it's a part of my general system's path now. So it'll look in here for the module because it's a part of the system path. And so that was just a brief overview of modules and packages for Python. Just to go over it one more time, is something that becomes a Python package when you have an init file there. It can be blank. You can use dot notation for arbitrarily deep nested packages. So long as the folder contains an init file, it becomes something that can be seekable. And then all of these modules, aka files themselves, contain classes and functions that you wish to use, and you can use the dot notation to access those names. This is Blue Collar Codes, quick and dirty. Hope you found this video helpful. Join me next time. Thank you.